very warm welcome to you wherever you are watching from around the world to Sydney in Australia, one of the most visited cities in the world. And if you have had the lucky pleasure of being here this week, then there was something else on offer to watch. It is Australia's premier badminton tournament, the Australian Open, into its 33rd edition, this Super 500 event. And it is the final day. That is Wang Zhaoyu, the SATHIO Group Australian Badminton Open ambassador to China and influencer with 15 million followers, carrying the HSBC BWF World Tour Finals trophy. I'm sure that's going to be on her social media profiles tonight. That's a very rare thing to have out there. Of course, that trophy will be distributed at the end of the year at the World Tour Finals invite-only tournament. Well, all the action's been happening here at the Key Center Arena over the past week, and it is the day. It is Finals Sunday here at the Australian Open, and we've got 5 absolutely cracking finals for you as well. Kicking off with a mixed doubles, an all-Chinese affair. Jiang the Weiyazin, the #1 seeds, taking on their compatriots Guo Xinhua and Chen Fanghui, the #7 seeds. After that, it's the women's singles. Esther Nurimitri-Wardoyo in her first ever HSBC BWF World Tour Finals final, and the 7th seed taking on Aya Hori, looking for her 2nd title of the year. After that, it's the scratch pairing of Lai Peijing and Lim Chu Xian, the Malaysians, who got into this tournament to have a bit of fun. Quote, women's doubles final is where they've ended up, and they're going to take on Kusuma and Pratiwi from Indonesia, the #2 seeds. Then it's the big one, the men's singles. Li Zijia in his 3rd final in 4 tournaments, looking for his 2nd title, the #3 seed, up against Kodai Narioka, the #2 seed. And then we'll conclude our coverage on Final Sunday with possibly the most informed men's doubles pair at the moment, He Jiting and Reng Zhangyu. #1 seeds taking on the #2 seeds. It's a perfect setup. Mohamed Hassan and Hendra Setiawan, their opponents in the men's doubles final. So looking at the mixed doubles draw, this was their progression of these 2 Chinese pairs to the final. Jiang Zhenbang and Wei Yazin, straight games all the way to the final. Guo Xinhua and Chen Fanghui did have a bit of problems against Terry He and Jessica Tan in the quarterfinals, but then they made up for that against the Hong Kong pair Tang and Si in the semi-finals. And looking at the mixed doubles race to the finals rankings as of the 4th of June, a little bit earlier on this month. Ferdinand Chen with Jaja up top. Zheng Xiwei and Huang Yashong down in 9th, but great performance from 2 of those Malaysian pairs, Cheng Tangji and Toei Wei, and Goh Sun Huat and Siobhan Lai Jamie in 6th and 2nd respectively. A lot more badminton to be played, of course, before that finals event at the end of the year. All about ready now for the players to make their way out. Here they come, Jiang Zhenbeng and Wei Yazin. And sitting with me in the commentary box while he's been with us all week, and we're very glad once again to have with us Badzine's Aaron Wong. Aaron, how are you doing today?
Hello, Jeevan. Wonderful to be with you.
Good finals coming up, and
yeah,
of course,
very good finals
with the mix, we actually predicted that this might happen. An all-Chinese affair in the mixed doubles.
Could very easily have been China versus Hong Kong.
Could have been. It was close. And here come Guo Xinhua and Chen Fanghui. Now, both of these pairs relatively new, but Chen and Guo newer,
that's right.
Fresh out of the Chinese factory of mixed doubles, I was about to say. I mean, they have such a great hold on the mixed doubles division right now. Feng Yanzhe and Huang Dongping, the defending champions, not here this week because, of course, they are busy preparing for the Olympics.
But we do have the pair that has beaten them recently.
That's right. They got their, this is the first meeting between these 2 pairs, but Jiang Zhenbang and Wei Yazin, as you pointed out, in the Indonesia Open, got their first ever win out of 8 attempts.
Goal. Black for you.
That was just last week. Well, that's Shum Saikit Manfred from Hong Kong.
Goal. Serve. Who serve? Oh. Who receive? Jiang receive. That's it.
Well, with the usual formalities out the way, I'm sure both these pairs have been looking forward to this final, and it should be quite the affair.
Jiang, tall man. I was walking past him just now to come in. Much taller than I thought he was.
Well, TV tends to shrink people, that's the thing. So 23 years old, Jiang Jinbang, born in Guilin, and currently peaking at 5. I read that they're about to go up to 4 next week in the rankings because of their Super 1000 win last week, and of course making the final today as well. What a 2024 they've had. They won the Indonesian Open, they were runner-up at the India Open, 3rd. Badminton Asia Championships, the Malaysian Open and the French Open, and also quarterfinal appearances in Singapore and at the Indonesia Masters. That's pretty much all the tournaments I can think of that, well, all England is missing from that, actually. But this would be their 3rd title, or their 2nd title, but it's their 3rd final for 2024. And this is how they got there. Wang and Wang in round 1, 17 minutes that took. The Malaysian pair of Pangron and Su Yin, 35 minutes. Ready and Ready, the couple, 31 minutes in the quarterfinals, and then Tan Kan Meng and Lai Pei-Jing, 33 minutes. And yes, that means they haven't dropped a game all week, and they might just do this, be flawless the whole week. Do you think that's going to happen against this pair? Chance of them to drop a game?
There is a good percentage chance it could happen. They're much more natural than the other pair that they're going to play.
Organic,
organic
was the word we used. So Goh Xinhua, 24 years old. They made, well, Cheng Fan Hui at least made his partner, made the semifinals with a different partner last year. That was Chen Xing. And they're straight into, as I said, this is their 3rd final after the Ruchang China Masters and the Malaysia Open. And of course, they made the quarterfinals of the Malaysia Masters as well. So for them, it's a 3rd final. For Jiang and Wei, it's a 3rd final. And that's how they got here. It was Lau and Somerville, Australian 33 minutes. Wang and Ear, also from Australia, 28 minutes. Then that marathon 72-minute match with the Singaporeans, He and Tan, before, as you pointed out, very close in the 2 games, Tang Chun Man and Si Ying Sweat, 45 minutes in the semis. There is Manfred Shum from Hong Kong in the umpire's chair. That is Chiaki Miyazaki from Japan in the service judge position. And with those 2 in place and the players warmed up, we're about ready to get underway for our first final of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Guo Xinhua and Chen Fanhui, China. And on my left, Jiang Jinbang and Wei Yaxin, China. Chen Fanhui to serve to Jiang Jinbang. Level play.
So we are underway. I did notice, Aaron, that Wei Yazin has a very serious face on. Good play off the start.
Service over.
I'm sure they'll be wary that there's the possibility of being dethroned for Jiang and Wei, their newfound status, as it were, becoming more famous.
They're rapidly rising now. Well, they were lucky that time. Wei Yazin scampering off, covering a lot of court coverage. Just expect these first few points for both pairs to settle into their rhythm. What she does very well, Wei Yazin.
The 2 overarching themes, one we alluded to, which is a more natural organic pairing against a fresher pairing. Then the other one is, I reckon, Chen Fanhui possibly more willing and more versatile to go back. Not that Wei Yasin isn't, but that's not their plan as much as the other pair.
Well, what we saw, and I said this, I think, is because they are such a you know, new and fresh pair, is positionally they were a little bit wanting. Unlike Jiang and Wei, who, as you said, they are organic, they're natural, they kind of know exactly where they're supposed to be. A little bit more reactive there, you saw on that point. Chen Fangwei having to cover a lot of the court. And right now, that's the exact part of the match which Jiang and Wei are taking control of. A lot of space. That was a very fast flat exchange. Yasin having to arch more and more.
Mixed doubles, the most complex of the doubles disciplines in badminton, is the fastest racket sport. One way for viewers to read into the game is we can see that if you look at Wei Yasin and where she is relative to Jiang Jianbang when they are front and back, her position, whether they're on the same side or not on the same side, on the same square, I should say, is actually signaling to Jiang Jianbang where the opportunities is most of the time. So where she stands relative to him, whether they're in the same square, is she reading and signaling to him. Maybe 25% of the time it's he signaling to her with his shot, but most of the time she's probably following her signal.
Well, they've started well here with that serve going out. 8-2.
8-2.
Which means that if you can get them side by side, that's where it becomes messy and it goes into the unknown zone for both pairs.
Yeah. Flat defense.
The flat defense. But also then Wei Yasin can't really signal because she's not in front of Jiang Jianbang anymore.
Well, Jiang Jianbang setting up the point.
Oh, we can see what I mean there.
3-9.
Gosinwa finally getting a good handle on that backcourt attack. What a point that was.
Service over. 10-3.
So it works the other way as well. So Wei and Jiang trying not to be side by side, but they're keeping their opponents side by side.
Oh, that was a nice opportunistic
Service over.
shot down.
10.
That's an interesting position. Now settling back into what they do best, Jiang and Wei.
That's the right shot. Maybe just a bit too much slice.
Well, at the break, 11-4. And a few more mistakes coming from Guo and Chen.
Seconds. 20 seconds.
So back on court and ready to go for the conclusion
11-4
of game one.
Play.
Wei and Jiang grooving nicely.
Yeah, they are certainly exerting a good level of control so far. Where's in? Oh, that's a late take. I really thought he was going to leave that.
Service over. 5.
Never really works out.
Never really works.
Take things that late. So Weir's in at the back, slowly edging forward. Now they're back in their ideal situation. Well, he's pushed that too wide. So,
6.
good run, a couple of points for Chen. Oh, what a pickup by Jiang. And he's back in position too. Amazing.
Amazing.
Well done.
It's a bit of Jiang channeling Zheng Suwei. That was incredibly fast.
Well, you did
the
say
reaction for that.
He's bigger than you thought. Well, this is full stretch for him. That was actually the shot before. That was really amazing. But yeah, he can certainly stretch. That's a nice combination again, and that's when they're so dangerous, when you've got the big shot from the back. It comes back, and it's intercepted halfway by Wei Yazin.
Well, the sub-theme that I was looking out for hasn't happened yet, which is Guo should have some inside knowledge of how Wei Yazin plays. They have won a big tournament
that's
together.
Right.
But playing into the hand.
Yeah, he's not getting the chance right now. Oh, great touch from Wei Yazin. Oh, that's wonderful. It's off balance there as well.
15-6.
They're trying to push forward, Chen and Guo.
Yeah, certainly accelerating the pace of this particular rally.
Yeah, shuttle just keeps coming back. And then it keeps coming back with a little bit more venom every time.
16-6.
This has been a great start from the bronze medal winners at the World Championships last year. Well, he's missed that one, but that's the thing. Chen keeps lifting to the back.
16.
And I think if you know that Jiang is in this form, perhaps go a bit flatter over the net.
Perhaps.
Perhaps, if you can. I mean, it was a difficult pickup after that great shot by Wei Yazin anyway, so...
I'd say perhaps because also the lift is buying time to think type shot.
As to what they want to do, and it is a very fast-paced game.
8-16. Service over. 17-8.
He's certainly got... I think it's also, after picking up that first Super 1000 title last week and beating Feng and Huang along the way, there's a certain extra boost of confidence that they've got in this tournament, the very next tournament that they're playing. galvanized almost.
Service over. 9-18.
It wasn't the first major that they've won, but being a Super 1000, it's the major of the majors.
It's the big one.
It's a Grand Slam.
Great anticipation there from Wei Yazin, knew where she needed to be. Now that's better from Guo Jinhua. Is that what you were talking about? That's what you were expecting?
Yeah, that's right.
10,
Plus also,
18.
again, they were positionally, even though both in the forecourt, front and back.
Maybe it is a question. We've seen it happening throughout the week of just starting a little bit faster. Jiang and Wei certainly hit the ground running. Chen and Guo a little bit slower.
Chen and Guo, it must be said, there's no hesitation in the hitting fast, but probably they're still slightly thinking through whether they would move yet. Whereas Jiang and Wei, again, more organically moving around each other.
Yeah.
So those microseconds do count, the thinking time microseconds.
By the time you thought the shuttle's on the ground.
The shuttle's on the ground, or you're in the troubleshooting zone.
So they are 2 points away.
Game point.
So 9 game points. Great pick up by Jiang, and again. Oh, wow.
Service over.
With the exception of that last shot, which they, of course, netted, the rest of that point was brilliant. The way they were moving, the way they were interacting. That's a nice return from Jiang. So, one hand on the trophy, you could say. Certainly going to be playing a little bit calmer now that they have that in the bag. 21-12 in just 13 minutes.
Seconds. 20 seconds.
So, change of ends as we get into game 2. But really, the conditions and the microclimate here at the Key Center over the week has been good on both sides. Very balanced.
Second game.
Or relatively balanced, especially coming from the
Play.
very windy arenas of the Istora Senayan in Indonesia last week. And Singapore just before then. It's better from Chen Fanghui. Saying that, though, that it's a slightly better side that's going Chen on, very slightly. Something tells me, Aaron, they're going to need a little bit more than just good climate conditions to overturn the second game.
I was thinking about a particular quality that Chinese pairs have, taking nothing away that they're playing compatriots, which is Chinese pairs have come back from being very far down before. One of the most unbelievable ones for Sydney-siders who have been around for a little while is Gao Ling, Jiang Jun, Sydney Olympic gold medalists. They were something like 110 down in their Olympic final. I know it's the 15-point era, but still.
Yeah, but that is immediately a big comeback. And they did it.
And they did it. And they did it again in 2004. Are Chen and Guo able to do a Gao Ling, Jiang Jun? I'll go out on a limb and say I doubt it, mainly because they're so fresh. Gao Ling and Jiang Jun at that point were more of a Jiang and a Wei. Yeah, more of an established understanding between them. So Guo and Chen so far have had a bright start to the second game. But just that great rotation from Jiang and Wei within that point just shows you exactly how established or what understanding that they already have. And the mistakes definitely forced their account a little bit higher from Guo and Chen. They have to certainly address that in the second game. Must-win game for them, of course. And for the viewers who are wondering, and rightly they should be, wouldn't Guo and Chen be used to their compatriots?
Because they train with them.
That's right. Yeah. And the answer is a bit half and half. They would be used to the speed of the individual shot. But we talked about how Wei and Jiang are more organic as a pair. So there's a compounding effect as far as the speed of the shuttle because one comes after the other quicker. Individual shots, it's fine. But the compounding effect is tough for their fresher partnership opponents. Well, they've now got their first lead of the second after trailing 3-1. He's done it again. This time it didn't work out for him, though. 4-5. Well, we'll definitely give him points for the pickup, even though it didn't connect.
Thank you.
Good communication going on between Guo and Chen. That's better from Chen Fanghui.
5-all.
So far, that battle at the net has been won by Jiang. Oh, sorry, by Wei. She has to certainly get a bit more stuck in. Double fault there.
Service over. 6-5.
Well, that came back too high and right into the hitting zone of Wei Yazin.
I like that. I like
yeah,
that.
it was good. It was very good. They kept it flat for a while, Guo and Chen.
Even though it was too punchy for Guo to return nicely, he was looking, he wasn't retreating. And he wasn't too far back on his defense. He was about 2/3 court.
The disguise drop from the back. Seen. Jiang and Wei. Oh, that was very nice from both players, Jiang and Chen.
6-8.
Right there and there. again, I love seeing those shots, the behind the back. I think it was actually Huang Dongping that played 2 or 3 of them in the Indonesia Open, but they just don't, you know, positionally, they just don't work, unfortunately. You have to reset yourself.
I think people would pay to watch Huang Dongping do those shots.
Actually, that's exactly what I said on comms. She did it she did 3 trick shots basically in a row. And I said exact words, she should take this act on the road because people would pay to watch that. And funnily enough, of the 3, all 3, you know, she recovered from. She didn't lose the point.
That's right. She's one of those that converts with the round the back eventually.
I think there was 1 left side behind the back, 1 right side behind the back, the third one was a tweener, right between the legs. Oh, well, that was just great placement by Wei Yazin. Guo Xinhua had no answer to it.
Guo Xinhua can do some Victor training to get that one back. Victor's quite good at that shot.
Well, Chen Fanghui now dictating from the back, or trying to dictate from the back, but still, that shuttle comes back every time. That's amazing defense from Wei Yazin.
So far, the best rally.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think this is rally of the match so far.
And Chen happy to stay at the back, and Guo happy to let her stay at the back.
Yeah, and well marshaled. 49 shots, pretty much every single one of them was great.
And I have no issue with Chen manning the back or womaning the back in their partnership. I think it does work from time to time.
It might very well be part of their strategy moving forward as they do mature as a group, as a pair. But still, the second mid-game interval goes to Jiang away, 11-8.
Seconds. 20 seconds. Play.
Wow, this really is crunch time for Guo and Chen. They would have loved to have had a bit of a buffer at the interval. Work on that, but now they're chasing. So job 1 once again is going to be to tie this up as soon as possible. But the real question, Aaron, is how do you do it? Because they haven't been playing badly, but they're still losing points.
They definitely are finding a way. We saw it with the longer rally. We saw what came true, which is whichever side can do the front and back more often in the rally, you're meant to rotate, but if you can, and keep the other side by side, that's where the points have been won.
But as we've seen from Jiang away, they are very reluctant to move into that standard flat defense. They would much rather weave around each other and start playing some very tricky shots around the net. Oh, uncharacteristic.
11, 12.
Great chance here for Guo and Chen. And they've done it. That's job 1.
That's right. Chen Fanghui, she was at the net. She was front and back. That's where the opportunities lie.
Awkward take for Chen. Worked out.
So in every badminton match, there's always a lull. We're all human. There will be a lull. This is possibly a lull stage for Jiang and Wei.
And they have to capitalize on that. So far, that's exactly what Chen Fenghui's been doing.
It's not a weak lull stage, I should say.
No, of course not. It's just relatively weak.
Relative lull stage.
Oh, that was wonderfully placed by Wei Yazin.
13-4.
And I think she has a thermometer. I mean, all players do, but she's got a particular thermometer, Wei Yazin, for when the lull is happening. She's like, oh, it's happened 2 points and picks it up.
Starts heating up again. Well, she has been in fantastic form this week. That was an easy point for Jiang Zhenbang. He was already in the right area. Did enough to force the fault. Goes in what? Replies in kind.
Well, just to remind viewers, there have been some successful quote-unquote reverse mixed doubles pairs. In fact, there's a world champion who was a reverse mixed doubles pairing. Camilla Reiter-Ewell and Thomas Lehborn, very famous reverse mixed doubles, where Camilla played at the back very often.
Yeah. They're certainly doing a little bit better. I mean, it's the points are getting a little bit more impactful now.
15-4.
And they're trading bombs. But it's in their best interest, Guo and Chen, to try and at least craft out a 2-point, 3-point lead. They don't want to be taking this up to 18 or 19 because they're going to be gambling with the title. That's a good start.
Service over. 16-15.
I suspect Guo and Chen at this stage just want to play freely. Maybe the plan is working or not working half of the time, but I think they want to just use muscle memory at this point.
Yeah.
If they think too much about their plan, it's too close. It will make them slower in their reactions.
Certainly they would like to have their run of the points. That's good from Guo.
Service over. 17-16.
I was waiting for the apology. I was wondering why it didn't come for a second. I thought maybe they're such great friends off court and training partners. Didn't need it, but...
For the lead for the first time in the Chen and Guo.
And if they win this point, that's going to be great for them. And they have kept it flat, dipped below the tape. And there is the 2-point lead that they've been waiting for. Now,
well, they were sensing the occasion. They were both side by side, but they were very much both in the forecourts.
Are we going to get a third? That's wonderful placement from Chen.
19-16.
Another minor lull for Jiang and Wei.
That's a very costly one. And that is 4 game points.
20, game point 16.
Oh, I think this is what everyone wanted. Certainly what Guo and Chen wanted. Chance to take it to a decider.
Game.
The rest of the court stood still. And Chen Fenghui seals it. 21-16 in the second.
And Chen Fenghui 21-16. 1 game more. 20 seconds. 20 seconds.
So here we go with the third decider, and good burst of play from Chen at the end of the second game. And as you said, Aaron, a lull.
Final game.
Jiang Wei.
Level. Play.
Much better from both sides.
Guo and Chen had practice yesterday twice. They came from behind against the higher ranked Hong Kong pair.
Yep. That was a nice jump in there by Jiang Jinmang. Being the decider, there will be a change of ends at the interval. But right now, Jiang Wei starting on the side. That won them that first game.
Service over. 1-all.
Nervy service.
2,
Chen Fang Hui.
Service over. 2-all. Ball.
And it's Jiang again,
Service over.
defining point.
3-2.
So 3-2. Patchy.
2.
After that opening great point, now very short and sharp.
Jiang and Wei seem to have refound their regular tempo.
Oh, that's quick thinking by Wei as in change direction. It's wonderful play from her. I mean, her shot completion rate, whether it's crouched,
2.
keeping it flat, is
Wei
quite
is
remarkable.
smart to hit, into perhaps, let's say, the first 1/3 of the court rather than just at the network. Guo was probably thinking she might hit shorter. It kept him a bit honest. He had to lift.
Oh, Jiang very big in the attacking pattern. Oh, that was almost well defended by Guo and Chen.
2.
Oh, 34 minutes they've been on court so far.
6-2.
We can't have a chat that long, Guo and Chen, because that's going to be certainly pulled up by the umpire. There's a little bit of miscommunication on this side, but it worked out for them.
3-6.
Yep, right there. They just kind of were in two minds as to where they should be.
Happens with a new pair. Happens with a lefty-righty pair as well.
That's great from Jiang. Careful play, and that's wonderful from Chen Fang Hui.
4-6.
Well, they needed this 3-point run. say at the beginning, Jiang and Wei were flawless, hadn't dropped a game, and there you go. That stat is now history. Oh, it's very big, very wide.
It's very wide. You have so much court to play with.
6-7.
No coaches on hand, of course, being a all Chinese affair.
8-6.
She looks like the captain for her side.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, absolutely she is. And I think she leads by example as well. Oh, that was a very late take for her. That was well placed by Chen.
7-8.
And that's what they're doing well. They're beginning to place well around the body, in just the right kind of tiny spaces between Jiang and Wei. And if you remember that first game, they were finding it hard just to get into the rallies. Now they've certainly got into the rallies.
And who do we reckon the captain is for the Chen and Guo side? I'm thinking it's Guo.
I'm thinking it's Guo, but just Chen looks like she has more of a say. But I think because they're such a new pair, it's equal. I think they're probably both learning from each other.
Well, I want to change my mind now after you said that. There was an article. There is an article in this year's magazine about how Kim Ha-na is more of a 50-50 type captaining.
Yeah. I think it just looks that way. I think there's a lot they still have to learn. That's obvious. And even now at 9-8,
there's no right or wrong. It's a different kind of collaboration.
Yeah, I mean we saw it against Tang and Si in the semis as well, where at times they looked like they were chasing, at times they looked like they were very reactive, but they still came through. It's good pressure there from Jiang. He's been good from the back. I wonder if they've rattled Chen Fanghui. She's looking a little bit more rattled. Now she's going to get a little break.
Being rattled.
So 11-8. There's the change of ends. So with the change of ends, now if you remember in the second game, Guo and Chen did a lot better from that end. But of course they have some ground to make up here. This is it. This is the conclusion of this match. The next 10 points for Jiang and Wei. Could see them.
It's been an interesting match. It's two different styles of play, two different strategies.
I just find Guo and Chen a little bit more reactive, and Jiang and Wei have been executing their strategy a bit more. It's a wonderful rally.
And one thing we haven't given credit for both pairs, probably because they're compatriots, is it's a left-right pair playing a left-right pair.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
There hasn't been too much confusion. Little bits for Chen and Guo, but that could be to do more with their fresher pairing.
So Jiang the righty and Wei the lefty on this side. Oh, that was a slip, I think, for Jiang.
9-12.
Mercilessly capitalized on by Chen Fanghui. She was absolutely not going to have any of that. And it's the opposite on this side. So she's the right-handed player, and he's the left-handed player. Certainly would make, in my mind, I'm thinking about it, certainly would make for some interesting permutations by having it that way.
Because you have to keep remembering who's got the bigger smash.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to dictate where you place it on court. That's well left. Well, we're getting to that part of the match now where it's going to get a little bit more critical. And one of these points, I'd say probably the 16th point for Jiang and Wei, is going to be big psychological block for Guo and Chen. They have to try and avoid giving the next 3 points away. Yes. Well, it was, I think Guo should have been in a better position for that.
Well, in the 21-point era, this, yes, you're right, it's the moment for Guo and Chen to pull out their
if they're going to do it, it's now. Yeah.
Jiang Jun moment.
That was wonderfully played by Jiang. Forcing the issue, and now just beginning to turn the screw, Jiang and Wei.
And they're keeping up the bullying of Chen Fangwei.
Yeah. It's been fully targeted. And she's, I think they've seen that extra bit of emotion coming out of her. And again, very reactive from Guo and Chen. This time it works.
It works because they were front and back, as we keep saying, and then their opponents are side by side. That's
well, I mean, in mixed doubles, that certainly is the, you know, the favored attacking formation.
And because it keeps rotating, it's easy for us to watch on TV and at the court, but for them on the court, they keep rotating. They have to, you know, take their eye off just for a moment, or use peripheral vision to see whether the opponent is side by side.
They're a little bit bunched up there on the right side, but again, it's worked.
And reverse mixed doubles happening.
And it works.
It works.
Goes in with a Chen Fangwei shot at the front.
But they're completely fine with that. We've seen they practiced it so many times.
But just for a second there, they looked like they were bunching up. It's that positional problem again, and opening up a lot of space on the left side. Need these next 2 points. Now they're flat. Well, he's been doing well. That's a big challenge. That looked clearly out. First challenge of the day. Well, I think there's absolutely no doubt about this. Adam writes.
Correction, out. Service over.
Well, there you go. That's the 16 point.
16-11. Play.
That's what varying up your serve is all about.
I mean, he's been keeping that option spare, not overusing it.
Well, now it's getting very dicey indeed. 18-11. Guo and Chen have been effective, but we haven't seen them put a 7-point run in. And they're getting into no mistakes allowed territory now. Again, bunched up on the right. Settle themselves. Well, so many times this week I've pointed out Wei Yazin as being the more influential player, but I actually think they've both played very well.
They both play very well. He's an unsung hero, Jiang Junbang.
really pushed out of their positioning there, and Wei Yazin just reminding Jiang to not get too enthusiastic about that. Keep formation, keep the focus. And that's it. So 8 championship points.
Match point 12.
And they've done it. It was never really in any question once they got to 17, 18 points. The numbers are always against Chen and Guo, but it's back-to-back consecutive titles for Jiang and Wei. After a great win at Super 1000 level, they now back that up at Super 500 as well.
Match won by Jiang and Wei Yazin, 21-12, 16-21, 21-12.
In 47 minutes, we have our first champions of the day. There's confirmation of it. 21-12, 16-21, 21-12. Jiang Zhenbang and Wei Yazin, mixed doubles champions here in Australia. So about ready for the trophy presentation now for the mixed doubles.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the finalists of the mixed doubles to the stage.